Hey guys, I'm Francisco, and this is my YouTube channel, Before I Forget. And today I want to circle back into the wacky world of weed and talk to you guys about like the everyday medicinal uses of, that consuming cannabis in its different forms can do for you. So in other words, what can weed do for you? Well, we're about to find out. But before then, you guys know what time it is. It's the strain of the day, y'all, which leads me to ask you, what is in your bowl? I want to share with you what's in mine. I have some strawberry OG. This is a little bit more potent than I gave it credit for. So that's always a good thing. Canna SOS, by the way, is where I'm getting all this information from for these strains. So strawberry OG. It is a 60-40 sativa hybrid. It's a cross of SFVOG and Bruce Banner, a.k.a. Banner in stores. The aroma and the taste are going to be more on the strawberry, lemon, and diesel side of life. The high itself is going to be a cerebral, euphoric kind of high, mood uplifting, and giggly. So it'd be perfect for daytime use or even social settings. The medicinal benefits: it helps you out with stress, pain, anxiety, and depression. A few little negatives: you got it can cause a little bit of anxiety, dizziness, and depending on how you view it, munchies. So I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. I just put it there with the list. Anywho, SFVOG. That's parent number one, a strawberry OG. SFV stands for San Fernando Valley, which is where the strain was bred and originated from. The aroma and the taste of SFV is going to be more on the lemon, pine, orange side of life. Its high is can be summed up with like some words like euphoric, sedative, talkative, calm, and creative. The medicinal benefits: it helps out with stress, anxiety, and depression. It's got a couple negatives: cotton mouth, potential couch lock, anxiety, dry eyes, headaches, and rarely but sometimes paranoia. Now, Bruce Banner, parent number two of this, a.k.a. Banner. The reason why I say that is because due to copyright or trademark infringements, they can't put Bruce Banner on bottles. That's okay, though. That's why they put Banner. Bruce Banner also is the strain is named after the alter ego of the Incredible Hulk. So a little trivia there for you. It is a 60-40 sativa hybrid. It's a cross of OG Kush and strawberry diesel. The aroma and the taste can be rounded up to say like orange, earthy, and pepper. The high itself: euphoric, happy, creative, relaxed, and uplifting. Medicinal benefits: not only does it help you out with pain, but it helps you out with chronic and joint pain specifically. On top of that, fatigue and stress. Negatives, there are some. You're going to have anxiety, dry mouth, dry eyes, paranoia, and sometimes dizziness. So there you have it, you guys. Bruce Banner and SFVOG create this wonderful little strain called Strawberry OG. So ready ye shit. Pack your bowls, light your J's, prep your dabs. Let's get this going. Wow, that's a very smooth hit. Funny enough, I actually had like a slight little floral taste to it that time. All right, got strawberry before, then lemon before that. There's no little floral. Huh. Anyways, y'all, let's go to the topic at hand, which is, what can weed do for you? So to understand this, to understand the different forms of how you can ingest cannabis. Oh, shit. My bad. How you can ingest cannabis is this handy little chart. Bam. It shows you the three most common ways of how cannabis can be consumed. I really, this is a great study guide. If you guys want to get a visualization of what I'm talking about, I really suggest you guys check this website out. It's from periodicedibles.com. Alongside from the products that they make, they just offer chock full of a lot of information. And I'm going to put the link where you can find this chart below. I want to thank my buddy Jake at work. He was the one who found this. I was having a hard time finding charts to help me visualize this for people. He found this for me, so he saved the day. So thank you for that, Jake. I really appreciate you. Now, those three methods are as follows, right, y'all? We have inhalation, oral, and sublingual, which is placing things underneath your tongue. Now, for the everyday use, like, to understand how to use these guys in a different kind of scenarios, you got to sort of understand how it gets processed, right? So that's the kind of details I want to share with you guys. Before we do that, you know what? I need to circle the wagons just a little bit more. Let's take one more hit. So as a precursor, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just trying to find fun and easy ways to be able to explain this to everybody to further help, spread the knowledge of cannabis. All right, so and away we go. All right, so number one would be inhalation. And inhalation is more more common way of of how people see people taking cannabis or weed. Smoking flower, J's, or bowl, vaping, or dabbing. By the way, there's, like I said, now you just noticed there's different ways of doing things. And all those methods, those details are for another day. But those are the various methods to inhale cannabis. Now, what happens, physically when you inhale cannabis, right? When you're smoking flower, dabbing, or vaping. So, when you inhale it, the THC gets processed in your lungs. It travels through the bronchi and then into the alveoli, which are the air sacs within your lungs. From there, it gets processed further into your bloodstream, then absorbed into your organs and your body tissue. Last but not least, your brain, and then your fat tissues, your fat cells. Now, all that to say, inhaling cannabis has a very quick onset, so it's almost immediate, if not a few minutes. Activation time about 45 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on how much you smoke. And then the offset's just like a switch as well, almost immediate. So, excuse me. It's like a light switch. If you need some kind of immediate relief, smoking a J or vaping or whatever might work for you. Like, for example, before COVID, when I'd just go grab drinks with friends or coworkers or buddies after work or whatever else, right? I don't mind bars at all. My thing is, I don't like a place that's super crowded. So sometimes we'd go out and it'd be a little crowded. I would just have to step outside, smoke my J or hit my pen for a couple minutes, and then come back inside. What that would help me calm my nerves, or just calm any kind of anxiety that I had at that moment. To just enjoy, all my friends enjoy the moment at a time, right? So for me, that's an everyday kind of situation. So if I'm needing some kind of immediate, like if you're in front of somebody and you're about to say you're gonna catch yourself say something that you probably shouldn't or something, just take a hit right quick, be like, let that kick in for a second, and then be like, okay, I got this. It's like, so there's basically think of it that way, like immediate. It's measured. So when the bar situation, I know that I'll be nice and baked for about 45 minutes or so, and that'll get me through the scenario. And if I need more, I'll take another hit. But it also depends on how much you smoke, because you also have a tolerance. Everyone has a tolerance, and so that's something to keep in mind, whether it's inhaling or eating or orally or whatever. Now, let's talk about number 2, the edibles, orally ingesting edibles, whether it's a solid or liquid. By the way, liquids will metabolize faster because the body does not have to physically break down anything. Just keep that in mind. What happens when you consume an edible orally? Okay, so when you consume an edible orally, the delta 9 THC is broken down, metabolized into 11-hydroxy THC. All this happens to the liver, by the way. So the liver's doing all this, and then from that point, it just throws it into the bloodstream, and bam, there you go. The problem is, breaking down that whole process takes about an hour to 2 hours. The good thing is, however, it's just like taking an ibuprofen. The effects can be between 4 to 8 hours, especially with that 11-hydroxy THC. Tests have shown that it's much more potent than delta 9 THC. And that's why it can last up to 8 hours or more, depending on how much you take. However, here's the thing that you got to keep in mind with 11-hydroxy THC. It has been shown in tests that it causes increases in heart rate. So that's why I always tell people when it comes to edibles, no matter how you take it, whether it's underneath your tongue or orally, be mindful of your tolerance. If you don't know what that is, take a little bit. If you don't feel something within an hour or so, if you take it orally, take a little bit more until you feel something in those allotted little segments of time. Be mindful of how much you take, because once you feel something, you have a baseline for your tolerance. You know how much you need at least to get the relief for what you're going for. All right. However, if you take too much, because the thing is, people will be like, oh, I want to throw down and eat a shit ton of edibles. I would really advise against it because because of that 11-hydroxy THC, consuming too many edibles can actually cause like anxiety and adverse impact, like adverse effects on you. So remember, keep in mind, whenever those effects kick in, you have about a 4 to 6 hour ride to endure before all that starts going away. So I always tell people, less is best until you figure out your tolerance. And once you figure out your tolerance, and whatever you want to do, have at it, right? But usually that tolerance is where that good pain relief, or that good, that sensation of what you're looking for sort of hits you. That being said, with the liver, there's just too many factors involved to say why the liver takes so long. It can go from your body weight, metabolism, lifestyle to a few other things, right? If you want to get around there, if you want to shorten the time span on that right quick, something for you to do is to take the edible and on a pseudo empty stomach, like a pretty empty stomach, take it on that, because then your liver can focus on that. Or take it in a liquid form, again, but mostly on an empty stomach, because then your liver can just focus on that, and it gets top priority, so the time span shortens a little bit. However, if that is not enough for you, let's say, for example, you overslept and you couldn't take your edible, and it wouldn't kick in the amount of time that you needed to for it to get to work or wherever you're going for that kind of pain relief, right? Like, you don't have that 2 hours, that 1 hour that it typically takes for you to feel it. Then you have the sublingual technique, which is number 3. That just simply means putting an edible or tincture underneath your tongue. Do that for about 30 seconds to a minute. What happens then, it gets processed directly into your bloodstream. You feel it within 15 minutes to 45 minutes. The duration is similar to those of edibles, and so is the offset, a nice little slow caressing back into life, right? It's not like a switch as you would with inhaling. Now, that that would be a technique. Like, let's say if you did run late to work or something, and you needed something a little quicker, but you forgot an hour or so before your job or your situation, whatever, to take your edible, and your body's hurting. Then put it underneath your tongue for about 30 seconds, 30 seconds a minute. After you swallow it, your liver then picks up metabolizing it as well on its own too. So, but those are the 3 techniques, you guys. What do you think? Is there any kind of situation that, is there any kind of category or something that would best suit you? Because people started asking me questions about this, and I thought, well, let me just go into further detail about all this. Again, inhalation. It's the quickest one. Immediate to almost a few minutes onset. Lasts for about 45 to 90 minutes. Quick offset. Think like a switch. 2 would be orally. Orally, about an hour to 2 hours for it to kick in. 4 to 8 hours for it to process, but not longer, depending on how much you take. And then a smooth landing back into life. Sublingually, underneath the tongue, 30 seconds a minute. If you need something a little faster than edibles, 15, 45 minutes activation time, same duration-ish as edibles, and the same sort of caressing back into life. With those 3 in mind, you know what I mean? If you're trying to deal with some kind of daily management, within those categories, it's amazing what you can do for just daily relief, aside from getting baked, right? But just for daily relief, it's amazing what cannabis can do on the daily. So, if you guys have any more questions about this, feel free to hit me up on my Instagram, Shaggy Adventure. Leave some comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, on the channel. Yeah, guys, that's I hope I was able to provide you some information. Again, check out this chart. It's periodicedibles.com. I'm going to provide the link again for you guys to sort of see the chart itself. But check them out, y'all. There's basically a great visualization of what I was trying to tell you guys. But that being said, I hope this has helped you guys out some, brought a little more clarity to those who are asking me questions. And but that being said, y'all, I hope this finds you happy. I hope this finds you well. And most importantly, I hope this finds you blessed. Till next time.